And welcome back to the Rogers channel, and today we're taking a look at the NECA Ben Cooper Spooky Monster figure. Of course, like I've shown many times before, this style of packaging is amazing, and what's shown right here in the front is a bunch of like retro style sort of like portraits or things like that of the classic monsters. And you also get the figure and accessories shown right there. But yeah, I love the coloring on there. Really brings out like a more vintage vibe, especially with that like packaging. And then you get the Ben Cooper and NECA logos down there. On the side, you do get the monster sort of like description and some monster graphics. It's the same thing on the other side, except different graphics. And I always think this is really cool, shown on the bottom of the packaging. They always credit the people that worked on the figurine, so you can see who sculpted it, painted it, and things like that. And then lastly, shown up on top is the name of the figure. But let's go ahead and open them up and see what's inside. And here she is out of the packaging. And again, just like I said with she, is because I noticed that she has this really neat little ponytail. But before I get too much into it, check it out. I love the costume already. It looks incredible. Oh man, this is going to be a fun one for sure. So let's go ahead and begin reviewing from top to bottom. Taking a look at that mask, it looks very, very cool. So I thought this was like based around like some sort of show or something when I saw it. But nope, this is just an original design where even the mask has this popped out eyeball right here that looks really sick. Love the fake blood and what are those, like worms or some sort of like yellow pus or something shown right there on the cheeks. They have the black nose, this little like wart or something, the white hair on the side of the mask, I'm guessing. But yeah, really interesting sort of like zombie mask we got going on here. And the kid, she does have this sort of like blonde sort of like hair running into a ponytail. And like I did mention many times before, the costume kids, their mask does not come off in any sort of way, and the sort of like string that holds it up is permanent and is part of the head sculpt. But yeah, it's a very interesting sculpt for sure. And then going over the articulation, the head does go side to side, has a joint up at the top of the neck, so you get some pretty decent movement. And checking out the torso now, the main costume is really interesting. So you have like this purple top with some yellow sort of like sleeves and then the collar piece right here. But the graphic is very unique. So it shows this like sort of scene or something. And it says back from the grave. And it shows like the coffin right here being dug up. And then it shows like this like, I guess, death character. And it has the lantern shown right here with the text. But it's pretty cool. Very unique. And then shown right here, the back of the costume does have like this Velcro stitching. But again, I have mentioned that before. It wouldn't really make any sense. Especially if you're going to mix match the costume and the mask doesn't go with it. So I don't really get what the purpose is. And then as far as articulation goes, it's a little bit interesting. There isn't a ball joint of any kind, but there is a little bit of like movement, at least. Checking out the arms. Arm does stick out right there. And surprisingly, it is able to go all the way around. The sleeves are big enough, so that's really cool. You do get a swivel right there by the elbow. She does have a double elbow, which is nice. And there is articulation at the wrist and the hand. And the other side as well. Arm sticks out right there. It is, let me try and get it around, able to go around pretty smoothly, considering that the sleeve is big enough right there. And the double elbow right here, swivel at the elbow, and articulation at the wrist and the hand. Checking out the legs, she does have these green sort of like pants that go along with the outfit. She does sit down, her legs go back right there, and she almost goes into a full-on split. And she does have a swivel right here around the thigh. And she also goes into a kneeling position. And last but not least, she does have these purple kicks. They look really nice. And the feet themselves point down. They are able to point up. And there is some rock wrinkles. So he has a good action poses. And now moving on to the accessory that she comes with. It's a pumpkin bucket. Checking out the bucket. It has this really awesome, like, old-fashioned look to the face of the pumpkin. It comes in this bright orange color, and then this black handle to complete it. And she's able to hold onto it very nicely, as you can see right there. Goes around her hand very nicely, and it's very snug. And real quick, there is another thing that goes along with this figure. So inside is a little cardboard like cutout of the shop, and you can see right here it's a really nice like backdrop piece for the figurines. And with that said, I guess we'll go on to the overview. But for sure, she is an awesome addition to the costume kids. Seeing that she's a brand new figure through the lineup and things like that, they did a really great job with the overall look. Really catches that Ben Cooper sort of like style. I love the accessory. I always think that's really unique that even though we occasionally get like the same bags or things like that, I like how they always change up the pumpkins, like the pumpkin pails. But yeah, if you are trying to collect some of the costume kids, definitely be on the lookout because it is super hard to try and find like certain releases or even like these ones right now. I was lucky enough to have a family member grab this for me, and thankfully it arrived here on time. But yeah, it's a really good figure overall, and I highly recommend it. And with that said, I'll go ahead and end it here, and say if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. And I'll catch you all on the next one.